Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. You guys are in for a treat in this video here. Coming up, you're going to see one of the finest examples of a unidentified flying object in the nighttime sky I think I've ever seen. At least a video that I've worked on sent in by a viewer. CabinGRL shared this video you're about to see of an object that was quite a ways away from her, at least a couple of miles, but she was able to pull it in and you can see the craft. It's very, very cool. We're going to come back and take a look at that video, plus I've got other video footage of mysterious objects in the nighttime sky. But first, over here at the homepage of the website, today's feature photo sent in by Tanner Davis out of Spokane Valley, Washington. These are two photos that I put side by side of the incredible aurora event of the night of May 10th, 2024. And check this out. We could see more solar activity on the same level, maybe not quite record-setting like that was. That was similar to the Carrington event, at least with regard to the auroras making it all the way down to Puerto Rico. Just incredible. Here's a look at the sun this morning. There's the sunspot in active region. That's the active region that made history right there. It survived the 2-week journey on the backside of the sun. This photo here I took from my driveway this morning around 6:30 a.m. It's back, and it's already producing X-class solar flares. There have been 2 X-class solar flares in the last 72 hours, so the region is still very active. And here's another view. This one's from space, the SDO spacecraft that monitors the sun 24/7. There's the active region right there that, again, made history. And speaking of historic, yesterday when there was 1 million customers, just over 1 million customers without power, that had to have been some sort of a historic record, because I don't recall ever seeing that many power outages from thunderstorms. I've seen that many power outages from hurricanes, but from thunderstorms? Yes, over 1 million at one time in the state of Texas. Today, they've got a lot of the power restored down to 333,000 customers currently without power right now as I do this video in Texas, 23,000 in Arkansas, and 21,000 currently without power in the state of Kentucky. And going from thunderstorms to solar storms, as I mentioned earlier, the historic sunspot is back. It's already active, producing this X2.9 solar flare. Here's the region you can see that created the highly photogenic skies around the world, where, again, auroras reached all the way down to Puerto Rico. They were visible in New Zealand and Australia. There's the first X flare from the highly active region that really hasn't slowed down much. It's gotten a little bit smaller with regard to size, but it could grow again as it's now facing the Earth once again. And here's a close-up view of that X29. Watch how fast this comes off the surface of the sun. That's at regular speed. Are you serious? Luckily, that was not Earth-directed. And here I slow it down just so we could get a look at the CME. Right there it is, once again coming off at an incredible rate of speed. That one was probably traveling at over 5 million miles per hour. And is it headed to Earth? No, it's going in the opposite direction over here back behind the Stereo B spacecraft. But now, moving forward, since we can see the very large active region, any activity coming from that region will more than likely be Earth-directed. Again, 2 X-class solar flares in the last 72 hours. And here's the X1 in slow motion. Right there it is. There was an Earth-directed component. You can see the ionosphere reacting almost instantly, creating radio blackouts in the high latitudes of planet Earth. And that X flare was number 44 of solar cycle 25. So solar activity is definitely on the rise. Okay, to the nighttime skies. Here we go. Some awesome video footage. This first video was sent in by Lisa B. These are classic Chinese lanterns moving through the nighttime sky. I show these like I do the Starlink satellite trains when I get them. They're not any type of unidentified flying objects. These are Chinese lanterns. These are classic Chinese lanterns. They're the right color, moving at the right speed. They're at the complete mercy of the wind. And then here in just a second, you're going to see one go out. They only last so long. Right there, the first one went out. So if you ever see something like that, low to the ground, cruising through the sky at the mercy of the wind, more than likely what you're looking at is a Chinese lantern. These, however, in this next video are not Chinese lanterns. Video sent in by Daniel Kane. Not sure of the location. I think he's over in the UK. I'm waiting to hear back from Daniel about this mysterious object that he saw in the nighttime sky. Check this out. Definitely not Chinese lanterns here. I just showed you a Chinese lantern. This is not a Chinese lantern. Here's a close-up view of this object that appears to be pretty good size, right around maybe 4,000 or 5,000 feet off the ground. Appears to have its own propulsion system. It's not being influenced by the wind, and it's maintaining a very steady altitude. Right there, it just did a somersault. Did you see that? And he even commented on it. Daniel saw that. This is quite large, whatever it may have been. So I don't believe that was a drone. It was very quiet, had no blinking lights, didn't look like an airplane or a helicopter. Some sort of a large, mysterious object spotted in the nighttime sky, cruising very quietly, but it wasn't trying to hide. It was a bright, large object, again, somewhere around 4,000, maybe 5,000 feet off the ground. Here it moves over into a different location, moving at about the same speed. Wasn't moving fast, wasn't moving super slow, but I would consider that on the slower side. It's definitely not fast. Here it kind of dips in behind a building, and I'm sure Daniel wasn't the only one that saw this object in the nighttime sky. Here's a modified format. Light is dark, dark is light, trying to pull forward any possible features on this craft. Actually looking for wings, maybe a tail fin, something that we can identify so we can rule out any type of mysterious object in the sky. And it remained a mystery. There are no identifiable features on this thing. It just looks like a huge light, a collection of lights possibly. And more than likely, these lights were attached to a larger craft that we could not see. However, in the video coming up, you're actually going to be able to see the craft. Oh yeah, exceptional video footage sent in by CabinGRL. This too was exceptional video footage sent in by Daniel Kane. Thank you, Daniel. Really appreciate that. Okay, here we go. These next videos, there's two that were sent in by CabinGRL, possibly one of the best UFO sightings ever caught on camera. At least one of the best that I've ever worked on, because you can actually see the craft. Really cool video taken on May 9th of 2024 at 11 p.m. Not sure of the location. Also waiting to hear back from CabinGRL on the exact location. This was a pretty good ways away from her. This is the original vertical video. She shared 2 vertical videos with me. This is the first one, and you can see how far away this thing was. At least a couple of miles away. So I'm heavily zoomed in here. And check this out. Coming up, you're going to be able to see what these lights are actually attached to. Oh yeah, this thing was hanging off way in the distance, not making any sound, no blinking lights, all of the lights were the same color, and as you're going to see here in just a few seconds, you're going to see the body that it was attached to, and I didn't have to modify the video footage to do it. Unbelievable video footage here. So looks like a collection of stationary lights, right? We've seen this many times. In fact, I just showed you a video of a collection of lights that appeared to be attached to an object, but we couldn't see the object. You're going to see the object here coming up, I think, right in this segment here. Check it out. Getting closer as the object was moving a little bit closer, and right there it is. See the object? Perfect straight lines. There's the craft. That hardly ever happens. We modify the video footage, not necessarily alter it in any specific way. We just adjust the lighting and color, trying to pull forward any possible features. Here it happened without doing any modifications. All I did was zoom in. Of course, once I saw that, you're going to see a couple of modified views of this particular segment when this thing was tilted at just the right angle, making the body visible. Here's another modified view, and you can see a collection of lights, and in this case, they are definitely attached to a larger craft that's just sitting there hovering in the sky, not making any sound, so that tells you it's got to be anti-gravity. This thing wasn't making a sound at all. She just happened to see it way off in the distance, had the presence of mind to grab her phone and start recording because she knew she was looking at something that looked out of place. It didn't look like a star. It didn't look like a planet. Obviously, doesn't look like a classic airplane or a helicopter. This is the original unedited video that she shared with me. Again, she sent in 2 videos that were about a minute, 15 seconds, maybe a minute, 20 seconds long. And this object remained, or at least it appeared to remain, in the same basic location. probably around 2 miles from her. I would say, if I had to take a guess, because obviously it's at night, this thing's a long ways away, maybe 8 to 10,000 feet off the ground, not making a sound, 11 o'clock at night, and there was nothing else in the sky except this. And there you can see the collection of lights, but we already know. Right there, they're attached to that. Check it out. They're like a big triangle up there in the sky. What an excellent video. Right there it is, close-up view. There's the triangle. You can see the perfectly straight lines. There's no mistaking that. That's one of the best I've ever worked on. And coming up, you're going to see yet another modified view. Let me pause it real quick. You can see the row of lights along the back, the main light in the center, straight line there, straight line there. What an incredible video. Wow, good job, Cabin Girl. Here's a black and white view. This format here is simply light is dark, dark is light. The bright lights are the dark features you see here, and there's a row of lights along the back, and then the big light in the center. No mistaking the craft right there. I work very hard to try to pull forward any possible features, just like this, and typically pulling forward the outline of the structure like that is very difficult to do. This time, it was right there in plain sight. But again, this was a good ways away from her. Here's how far away it was. Probably at least 2 miles, maybe farther. This is a close-up view of the object, and you can see what it is. A very large, mysterious-looking craft. Looks to be some sort of a triangle shape, but not necessarily a perfect triangle. You can clearly see the two lines up here that form what look like a V, but there's something else going on the backside where these lights are. So it's not necessarily a perfect triangle, but there's no denying there was some sort of a large craft in the sky on the night of May 19th, 2024 at 11 p.m. spotted by Cabin Girl. Great job. And if you guys have photos or videos you'd like to share, come over here to the homepage of the website, MrMBB333.com. There's 2 red banners here on the homepage of the website. This one here is the email. You can send photos and videos there, but if for some reason the videos are too big to attach to the email, look for this red banner that says, have a large video. That's a Dropbox. You can put many videos in there and many pictures in there. Just include your first name, date, and location, and I'll take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.